I would never be begging a nigga to be with me after he got a baby on the way. I would never be having matching t-shirts on with a nigga that got a baby on the way. I would never be trying to play family with a nigga that got a baby on the way. I would never want to be with a nigga that burnt me while I was pregnant. I would never want to be a bitch like that. I would never be telling random people that my baby daddy burnt me. I would never tell nobody no shit like that. I would never tell random people that my baby daddy cheated on me our whole relationship, my whole pregnancy, that he cheated on me. I would never, you could never get me to tell no shit like that to no random people that I don't fucking know. I would never want to have a job to where I'm wiping old people's ass and giving old people showers and feeding them and shit. I would never want to have a job like that. I would never want to have a job that my car was in the shop for 2 years. I couldn't get it out. I would never want to have a job like that. I'm wiping ass and I ain't got no car still. I would never want no job like that. I would never want to be with a nigga that done got so many bitches pregnant during the time that I've known him. I would never want to be with a nigga like that. I would never want to be with a nigga that didn't play in my face for damn near 10 years. I would never want to be with a nigga like that. I'm getting me a new nigga ASAP. I would never have a big ass birthday party and have to catch a ride to my birthday party because I don't have a car. I would never call a bitch.
This is Cold Case Chronicles True Crime, where every silence hides a secret, and every story deserves to be heard. We uncover the mysteries buried in time, the victims, the motives, the truths long forgotten. Subscribe now and join us as we dive into the world's darkest cases, because every smile hides a story, and every mystery deserves a voice.
Why would someone who's been managing jail life without issues suddenly request protective custody? And on the exact same day, the father of the children shared by both women fails to appear in court. Is that just a coincidence? Consider this. She was handling things well in Division 8, then in Division 4, no troubles for months, through December, January, and early February. Everything seemed stable, but on February 3rd, 2026, she claims threats from whom? Her lawyer, Ari Williams, hesitates at first, offering a vague response about the case's nature. The judge appears puzzled. The prosecution doesn't oppose it, but admits they have no idea why. No one seems to know, except that during the same session the prosecutor approaches the victim's family, mentioning additional evidence they haven't disclosed yet. Evidence the defense will need time to examine. What kind of evidence? DNA orders are approved, 6 in total. A. HIPAA, release for medical records, an order for multiple DNA. Swabs, a DNA consumption authorization. A DCFS involvement order, a provision for the defense expert to observe testing, and the protective custody request. All authorized on the same day. Why the sudden urgency? And Carlos Smith, the man who testified in January, insisting witnesses were fabricating stories, vowing his side would emerge, who shares kids with both women. He's absent from court for the first time since Holly's arrest in December. Do you really believe it's mere chance that Holly seeks protective custody on the day Carlos vanishes from the proceedings? The same day prosecutors reveal incoming evidence. The same day DNA efforts intensify. Is this accidental or a calculated move? What if I suggested none of today's court events were random? What if someone's on the verge of turning? What if charges are imminent for another person? What if the solidarity displayed in December is fracturing? And what if the true account of September 8th, 2025 is finally surfacing? Here's a breakdown of today's developments and their deeper significance. But first, to grasp the bombshell, the protective custody, the absent father, and the new evidence, you must understand who Romeca was. On September 8, 2025, at 9:06 a.m., Romeca Meeks-Blackmon bid farewell to her 6-year-old son outside his first-grade classroom at South Loop Elementary in Chicago, near Kermack Road and State Street. She tucked a handwritten note into his lunchbox. "Have a great day, baby." Her final social media post featured that note. 20 minutes later, she was gone. At 31, she was a nursing student, a dedicated single mom, a cherished daughter, sister, and friend. The family's youngest, but its guiding force, as her sister described. But why was she in that spot? Why was Carlos Smith, the father of her child, there with another woman? This story traces back further than you might expect, to at least 2018, when the first known police report was filed. It could go even earlier, but 2018 is, on record. Romeca reported domestic violence, physical abuse, and controlling actions by Carlos Smith, her son's father. Outcome? Nothing. Then a second report, another incident, same dynamics, violence and control from Carlos. Romeca seeking help. Again, no action. At least 3 reports documented between 2018 and 2022. 3 pleas for protection. 3 systemic failures. But the third report in 2022 demands close attention. It exposes the system's deep flaws, how it protected the wrong person and jailed the victim. Carlos hits Romeca in the eye. Photos from Big Key's news network show the swelling and bruising, clear signs of assault. She defends herself with scissors, wounding his hand lightly, a defensive injury, not an attempt to harm fatally, just to escape. Police arrive at a domestic violence scene, one with a black eye, the other with a minor hand cut. Who do they arrest? Romeca, the injured victim who'd sought help before. It gets uglier. She's pleading, "Check my phone. It's all there. Messages, proof of what he's done." She details dates, locations, times, incidents. He's breaching house arrest, wrapping foil around his ankle monitor, stalking her at night. All documented. Just look. Do they? No. They ignore her evidence. But they view Carlos's videos, edited snippets showing Romeca reacting, yelling, upset, emotional. No context of his prior gaslighting or abuse. Just her responses. That's what sways them. That's their basis. She's cuffed, eye swollen shut, barely able to see, taken to the hospital in restraints like a perpetrator, then jailed, booked, and they even attempt charges like home invasion and trespassing.
Me and I throw it down. Why you lie so much? Why do you lie so much? I'm talking to you. What? Talk to me and I throw it down. You want to keep lying? This how I feel when somebody keep lying to somebody. Why did you lie? Tell me why you lied. Tell me why you lied. Why did you lie? Why you lie so much? Why do you lie so much? I'm talking to you. What? Talk to me and I...
Despite Carlos allowing her entry, despite shared access, despite her rights. Weeks later, in court, she presents her full evidence, the phone records, abuse history, stalking, monitor tampering, all of it. Charges dropped entirely, as if it never occurred, except it did. Jail time, lost income, temporary record, trauma. All because police refused her plea to review evidence that night. If they'd checked, no arrest, no jail, protection instead. But they didn't. 3 reports, 3 opportunities to intervene, stop Carlos, safeguard Romeca, alter the path. 3 misses. And on September 8th, 2025, the system failed her fatally one last time. So in questioning why she was on that street, why she approached Carlos and Holly Johnson, why some say she should have walked away, recall her 7 years, at least, of documented abuse since 2018, likely more. 7 years of police calls ignored, 7 years of reports dismissed, 7 years labeled the issue when she was the victim protecting herself and her son. Perhaps she was exhausted from silence, from being overlooked, from his impunity, assaults, violations, lies. Maybe she sought resolution. We'll never know. She's silenced forever. Carlos Smith is the core figure, the link between 2 women who bore his children, present when one died. Not merely as a father or bystander, but as the instigator, manipulator, abuser. He fathered a 6-year-old with Romeca and a 6-month-old with Holly. Both women knew of each other. No secrets. He split time, attention, control. Both sought protective orders, cross petitions against various threats. In December 2024, Holly files a no-contact stalking order against Romeca, alleging threats via family. Claims no direct meeting or conversation, yet fears enough for legal action. Granted July 2025, but never served on Romeca. She couldn't breach an unknown order, couldn't comply with unseen boundaries. Timeline, filed December 2024, granted July 2025. 7 months unserved by September's killing. Romeca's family views these as tactical, building a record, crafting a victim narrative preemptively. Pattern, Holly files in December, granted July, doesn't serve. Files another summer, same claims, still unserved. Why create unserved orders? If planning confrontation, for self-defense, claims later, you need proof of prior fear, a defensive paper trail, even if aggressive. Now the execution, September 8, 2025, Monday morning. Carlos drives Holly in his Mercedes SUV to her parked Chevy Cruze at 20 West Sirac South Loop, transferring their 6-month-old's car seat. Same time, 9:06 a.m., Romeca drops her son at school 30 addresses away, walking distance. Coincidence or knowledge of her routine? Vulnerability? Alone time? Romeca heads back to her Kia, spots them. Witnesses vary. Some say she sought Carlos, others chance sighting, or recognized his Mercedes and stopped. Regardless, consensus. Verbal clash erupts. Carlos positions between them, arms out, separating. But another view. Carlos aggressive, using her Kia door as a weapon, slamming it into her. 911 called for disturbance. Gun mention. Romeca re-enters her car, perhaps to leave. Holly yells threats through the window. Romeca exits again, maybe to respond, stand ground, or Carlos blocked her. Then, Carlos attacks from behind. Right arm chokehold, left hand striking. Multiple witnesses from varied angles confirm. Chokehold while Holly threatens. Romeca struggles, breaks free, gasping. Holly goes to her Cruze, grabs 9mm gun, legal, permitted, returns, shoots multiple times, face, leg. Romeca collapses, bleeding out. Carlos moves her body. Why? To aid. Check. Reposition. Unknown. Then, per witnesses and prosecutors, Carlos and Holly fist bump, like accomplices succeeding, while Romeca dies. They stay, bloodied, await police. Police arrive minutes later. Chaos, witnesses, 9/11s. Holly detained, gun in possession, 3 casings. Claims self-defense on site. Licensed carry, protecting herself. Processed, questioned, released same day. No charges. State's attorney. Insufficient evidence. More investigation needed. Romeca dies at Stroger from wounds. Family stunned Holly free. 3 months of advocacy. Calls, protests, petitions, vigils, media, pressers, demanding why no. Charges with witnesses? Her son turns 7 days post-shooting, birthday momless, questioning grandma. Tina Miller, Romeca's mom, now guardian, explaining the inexplicable. December 4th, 2025. Holly arrested at Des Plaines' home, charged first-degree murder. Next day, court, detention hearing. Romeca's supporters pack in pink, her favorite color. Holly, 7 weeks pregnant. Defense pushes release. No risk, no record. Stable, pregnant, self-defense. Licensed. Judge denies. Prosecutor details. 9:06 drop-off. Carlos/Holly nearby. Argument. Carlos strikes with door. Chokeholds while Holly threatens. Romeca frees. Holly grabs gun, shoots. Fist bump. Bloodied stay. Defense. Threat to life/baby. Rights exercised. Judge. Street celebration post-shooting isn't self-defense. Detained. Next date, December 23rd. Rescheduled to January, then again. January 2026. Prosecutors add 5 felonies. Likely aggravated battery, weapon misuse, reckless discharge near school, armed violence. Why now? Strengthening case. Defense motions release. Home monitor. No burden met. No history. Pregnancy. Self-defense. Ties. Carlos testifies, denies fist bump, chokehold, witnesses mistaken. My truth will emerge. Defense highlights inconsistencies. Witness statements. 911S. Videos. Headphone. Wearing witness. Judge denies. Totality weighs detention. Defense appeals to Illinois appellate, pending as of February 3, 2026. Meanwhile, discovery. Evidence swap. Reports, statements, forensics, videos, calls. DNA from gun, hands, body, Carlos, scene, vehicles. Ballistics, trajectories, autopsy. Standard for murder. February 3, 2026. Supposed routine discovery. Not so. 6 orders. 1. HIPAA for Romeca's Stroger records. Injuries, strangulation signs, defensive wounds, beyond autopsy. 2. Multiple DNA swabs from gun, clothing, body, nails, hands, vehicles. 3. DNA consumption. Destructive testing authorized. 4. DCFS for kids' welfare, custody. 5. Defense DNA, expert observation, verify. Process. 6. Protective custody. On the last, Ari Williams requests mid-hearing. Judge. Why? Initial vague. Case publicity. Judge. Insufficient. State unaware. No objection but no info. Williams. Threats in Division 4 from inmates. No details. Who, what, when. Judge signs anyway. Holly to PC. Isolated, limited contact. Protective custody isn't just safety, it's strategic.
Tired of the lies and everything, what they said I did. I know for a fact it wasn't true. I didn't headlock her, I didn't beat her with the door. I only try to diffuse the situation. They keep deflecting away from that. And what I did what they saying I did made it sound harsh, and I didn't do that. So we need justice. We need justice to be served too, the truth. And they keep deflecting from it.
In general population, talk flows. Inmates may snitch for deals, case details, contradictions usable against her. PC isolates, prevents leaks, controls info. Also signals cooperation, protection from those testified against. Holly jailed since December. Fine in Divisions 8/4 per social media. No issues. Why now? Amid DNA orders, HIPAA, new evidence mention. Post-hearing, prosecutor to Romeca's family, in pink. More evidence. Defense needs review time. Continuance to March 3rd. What evidence? DNA results. New witnesses, phones, texts, videos, socials. Perhaps Carlos related. Carlos absent, first since arrest. January. Testimony denied allegations, vowed truth. Coincidence? Holly to PC, prosecutors' evidence reveal. Carlos missing, same day. Not random. Legal maneuvering. Perhaps defense sees unwinnable solo. Shift blame to Carlos. His abuse history. 2018 to 2022 reports. 2022 arrest of victim. Manipulation of both women. September. Chokehold per witnesses. Holly defending him? Or orchestrated? Can't build this in Gen Pop. Risk snitches. PC protects. If blaming Carlos, he distances. No court. Prosecutors' December claims. Chokehold, battery, door strike, assault, no intervention, fist bump, accomplice. Illinois law, aiding murder equals felony murder. DNA may show neck contact, record strangulation, witnesses corroborate. If charged, conspiracy theory emerges. Holly to PC same day. Carlos skips, evidence announced. Not safety, strategy, info protection, cooperation prep, blame shift, or Carlos anticipating charges. DNA, trigger, grip, Holly's expected. Residue, just hers. Neck, Carlos's cells, from choke. Nails, his DNA from struggle. Records, bruising, petechiae, door marks. Matches timeline, undermines self-defense if Carlos aggressor. Can't defend aggressor legally. Science pivotal. Contamination risks dismissal. Time-consuming. Trial likely late 2026. Today calculated. PC request. Vague threats. Signed amid confusion. Carlos absent. Evidence teased. Orders linked. Shift occurred. Front cracks. March 3rd. Evidence reveal. Carlos appear. PC purpose clear. Undeniable. Romeca killed September 8th, 2025. Shot post drop-off. Note in lunchbox. 31. Nurse student. Mom. Family pillar. 3 DV reports ignored. 2022 victim arrest. Dismissed later. Encounter. Chokehold. Threats. Shots. Fist bump. Bloodied stay. Holly arrested December. Murder plus 5 charges. January. Carlos denied January. Today. Absent. Holly PC. Evidence incoming. A 7-year-old motherless 148 nights with Grandma Tina. Systems failure. March 3rd. More emerges. DNA processed. Records reviewed. Family in pink. Fighting. We must too. Remember Romeca Meeks-Blackmon. Her son. Failures. Dates. Justice for her changes. DV response. Believes victims. Protects callers. No more dead at 31 after ignored pleas. Justice for Romeca.